Hello and welcome back to another episode of my Drum Teacher React series. My name is Marthyn. I'm a drum teacher and today I'm going to be reacting to and analyzing a live drum camp video from Trey, drummer of Dying Fetus, playing their song Your Treachery Will Die With You. Before we start off, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Rafael from Drummers of Hell. Their YouTube channel is amazing, so make sure to check their channel out as well. You can find it down there in the description. Alright, let's start.
Alright, let's do this shit. Fuck that shit up. This is Your Treachery Will Die With You.
Alright, I have to stop right away. The first crash fill would be really easy to play with right hand and left hand, but he chose to play it just with his right hand. So, amazing. Alright, let's focus on his hand technique for a bit. He's using mostly wrists and American grip. So not French, thumbs up, not German grip, but in between American grip. Okay, before we focus on his foot technique, because actually he's using 3 different techniques: regular heel up, heel toe technique and the swivel technique. Right now he's using the heel toe technique. Let's talk about his pedal settings and his gear a bit. He's one of the many drummers who's using Axis A longboards. As you can see in this picture, VDL is around the middle. He's using a medium to high spring tension, and you can also see that he's using a Roland acoustic trigger. You can see it on the left side of the video, and his bass drums are stuffed with pillows. This makes the triggering easier. And one more thing, he's using Axis A marksman, they're called marksman beaters, and the cool thing about these beaters is that the beater shaft is extremely heavy in comparison to the beater head, so they have like a certain specially unique feel, so make sure to try them out as well. By the way, I'm not endorsed by Axis, I just like these beaters. Alright, we have to stop again. Now he's using the swivel technique. Let's talk about his swivel technique for a bit. I watched this video over and over again, and it seems like he's swiveling with his right foot. He's swiveling out for the first stroke and in for the second stroke. His left foot is doing the same thing, just the opposite way around. So his left foot, his left ankle is swiveling out for the first stroke and in for the second stroke. His foot is sliding a bit back on the footboard when he starts to swivel in comparison to the when he plays regular heel up. And this is like at a tempo of, now we're playing at 255 BPM. So he's using the swivel technique at that tempo. Okay, now let's talk about his heel toe technique. Right here you can see that his foot is sliding back on the footboard when he starts to use the heel toe technique. So actually the heel of his foot is not touching the footboard when he's playing heel toe. It looks something like this. I've seen a lot of drummers who do it the other way, but that I mean that their whole leg is placed on their footboard like this. And a lot of drummers use it the other way, sliding their foot back like Trey does it in this example. If you slide your foot back like this, your heel is not generating the first stroke. Actually, it's the middle part of my foot that's generating the first stroke, and my toes or the ball of my foot are generating the second stroke. Again, comparison to sliding your foot up on the footboard like this. Alright, let's continue. Again, the fill played with just one hand. Now he's playing regular heel up. The tempo is around 160 beats per minute. He's using a mix of hip flexor and calf muscles, but it looks like it's mostly hip flexors. Looks like this. The one thing that's really awesome is that it doesn't even matter if Trey is playing the swivel technique, heel toe or regular heel up. He's never like leaning forward or back when he starts or stops a bass drum pattern. So he looks totally relaxed and always in control. That's also interesting. Tempo is around 160 BPM. First, when he played 16th notes, he played regular heel up single strokes. Then he switched, when the subdivisions changed to 16th note triplets at 160 BPM, he started to use the swivel technique. 16th note triplets at 160 BPM is the same tempo as regular 16th notes at 240 BPM. So from what I've seen from his videos is that he starts to use the swivel technique around 200 BPM and up to 250, 260 or even faster. Here you can see that he's using the some sort of push-pull technique with his right hand. But the left hand just playing regular wrist motion on the hi-hat. Now he's using the heel toe technique. It seems that he is able to play extremely fast with the swivel technique and with the heel toe technique, but he tends to use the heel toe technique when he has to play for longer periods of time. For shorter stuff like one bar of fast double bass, he always uses the swivel technique, but for longer periods of time, he tends to use the heel toe technique. He's getting a big beta swing out of the heel toe technique as well. Swivel technique again. Now he's playing like for 2 bars of fast double bass and he immediately switches to the swivel technique. And also the transition is really smooth between regular heel up and the swivel technique. Now the tempo changed around from 225 BPM down to 200 BPM. And he's able to play a flawless transition from 225 to 200 BPM while still using the swivel technique. Let's look at this one again. See? Nice transition. Great. Again using the swivel technique, but really sitting straight, not leaning forward. Again, swivel technique. Yeah. Now he's using the gravity blast with his right hand on the snare drum. The thing is, and you can hear it in the video, that it is extremely hard to play loud with the gravity blast. So right now his snare drum sounds kind of weak in comparison to the regular blast beats, because with the gravity blast you can't hit that hard with this small kind of motion in comparison to a full wrist motion, which he uses all the time if he's not doing gravity blast. Of course, you would have the alternative to use a snare drum trigger, but who wants that, right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, a great video. I know I had to talk a lot during this video and I had to stop it really often because his technique is just amazing. Like 3 different foot techniques, regular heel up, extremely tight, swivel technique, extremely tight, and the heel toe extremely tight. Great hand speed, a lot of power, and also using the gravity blast in between. So thanks a lot to Trey Williams, to Dying Fetus, to Rafa from Drummers of Hell. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment below if you want a certain drummer to be next on this YouTube channel. Cheers from Vienna. Bye.